Come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off because today I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs from GMT Games. I'm really curious to see if this happens to be kind of a spiritual successor to the old classic Avalon Hill title, Patton's Best, or if this is going to turn out to be a completely different Steel Tiger. We will find out when we crack this open right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff Mackler, back once again as your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. It is an awfully chilly day in the Duct Tape Studios, so I'm kind of surprised I don't have some condensation kind of coming off on screen. But as I mentioned in the open, we are going to be taking a first look at Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs from GMT Games. I am pretty pumped to check this out because not only is this a solitaire design, it's also designed to get quite a few gamers to the table as well. This is designed by Mike Bertuccelli, is what I'm taking a guess. I believe it's Bertuccelli, with artwork and graphic design provided by Terry Leeds. The game is for 1 to 8 players, ages 14 and up, plays around 60 to 120 minutes. It does carry an MSRP of $78. So let's move on over to the other camera and find out just what's inside Tank Duel. All right, so we've got Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs. This is a pretty hefty box here, so let's get the shrink wrap off, and then we will take a look at the back. So as I had mentioned in the open, I sort of have a feeling that this might be kind of not necessarily a rehash or anything, more like an homage to the classic Patton's Best from Avalon Hill, which was a solitaire tank game. But with this, you've got multiple players commanding tanks. So this sounds really, really cool. This strikes me as being something pretty interesting for everybody to keep an eye out for. It has got a medium complexity. Solitaire suitability is very high because I believe this is kind of designed as a solitaire game, but you can branch out and have up to 8 players taking part in these battles. So I'm assuming that each of the players will actually be commanding their own tank. So we've got some info back here. As I mentioned, it's for ages 14 and up. So it says, Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs is a tactical tank combat card game for 1 to 8 players that depicts tank-to-tank warfare on the Eastern Front of World War II. Using a simple action system to keep the action moving, it depicts the chaos and urgency that tank crews experienced in this bitter conflict. Players use a deck of battle cards to bid for initiative, command their tank, and as an innovative way to resolve actions. Tank Duel includes a variety of scenarios ranging from basic engagements to complete historical orders of battle. Nice. So let's jump on in and see what we've got inside. I was pretty pumped when this arrived in the mail. I was like, yes! Very, very cool. So we've got few different decks of cards here. So this almost looks like this is maybe terrain. That's kind of cool. Battle cards, scenario cards, more battle cards. Yep. So we've got 4 decks of cards. We'll take a look at these in just a few moments. We've got our rules of play. We've got a playbook. Yeah, sweet. So first off, let's take a look at the rules of play. I can tell you right now, this is not a very, very long rule book. There are 18 pages. So we get object of the game. Sequence of play is the draw phase, initiative phase, tank phase, which includes an administration step, an action step, and a discard step. Then we have reinforcement phase. So if any tanks have been eliminated, their controlling player prepares a replacement tank. Okay, that's interesting. So it says game length, total number of tanks, total number of decks. So we'll have to take a look to see. There must be kind of a basic deck that each of the players will have. So we've got the different cards talking about the different cards. Then we got battle cards in general. Got hand size. This player's hand size is 4 battle cards plus 2 additional battle cards for each tank they control, plus or minus any applicable modifiers. I gotta say, if this is gonna turn out to be anything like Wild Blue Yonder, I'm gonna be like, yes, this is awesome. Love that game. We still play that all the time. I know it's not gonna be anything like that, but we got tanks and crew. Got a tank card here. Got our crew members, wounded and killed crew, go and hold down, draw phase, initiative phase, tank phase. And then there's our reinforcement phase as well. Talking about firing and damage. Tactics cards, victory, and some key terms. And all in all, we've got 20 pages, but really 18 of them are rules. 17 of them actually are rules. So there we go. I like that commander, gunner, and loader. That's kind of cool. Get some credits out there. All right, so let's take a look at the playbook. This is pretty hefty. So we've got a little tutorial. We've got advanced and optional rules, scenarios, solitaire rules, examples of play as well. So let's take a look. One of the things that I always love about the playbooks, and I say it all the time, I tend to read the playbooks before I take a look at the actual rule book, because I find it much easier to learn how to play GMT games when I read a playbook and then follow that up with the rule book, because then to me the rules kind of make sense. They click. So this seems like this is a 2-on-2. We got a 2-on-2 action here with the Germans and the Russians. We got pretty detailed, so that's cool. And plenty of images as well. So first 18 pages are really an example of play. So then we get into advanced and optional rules. So we've got infantry. That's pretty cool. Got different scenarios. Talking about tanks by year, tanks by size, suggested tank matchups. And we got some scenarios. Merging forces, hold the high ground. Capture Hill 818. Break out of the pockets. Establish a beachhead. Streets of Steel. And then we've got historical scenarios. And then we get into the solitaire rules. It says Tank Duel is playable by a single player or cooperatively by multiple players, controlling all of the tanks for one nation, and these solitaire rules governing the behavior of the tanks for the opposing nation. So we've got Rubato action cards. So we've got an AI deck of cards as well. So we've got the solitaire rules. An example of play for solitaire. That's cool. Very nice. Now we've got a card index. Then we got our designer notes. Sweet. And we get some developer notes too. And some notes about the historical scenarios. Very cool. Nice. Very, very nice. So that is the playbook. See what else we've got. We've got some different player aids. Where are we going to have 8 of these? We've got 1, 2, 3. We are 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very cool. So each of the players, if you got up to 8 players, each of them are going to have a player aid sheet here. Sequence of play, draw phase, initiative, administration. Talking about different tank actions based on the cards you're playing. Sweet. Very nice. Then we've got a Rubato player aid. So this is if you're playing solitaire or if you're playing with one side is one, all your players are on one side. So you're talking about using the Rubato deck. So we've got that. Then we've got some punch boards. So we've got flanking. We've got different conditions. So these are dual-sided. So it looks like that's 200 meters, 600 meters, but the flanking looks like that is the same. So then we've got, looks like we've got some counters representing the tank crews, both German and Russian. Looks like we've got some informational markers as well. Got some victory point markers. I wonder if you track the victory points on your tank card. And we've got another sheet. It looks like we've got some ammunition, different range counters, fire level, moving level, if you're buttoned or not. It's like just one little. Looks. Oh, these are spares. I was gonna say so there's only one infantry unit for it, but now I see we got some up here, got a couple up there. So not tons of infantry. So we've got those. All right, and then we've got these tank cards, which, gosh, is that what all of these are going to be? Holy cow! Get ready, gang. Here they come. There are a bunch. And these are very, very stout stock. Not as thick as you would find for, say, a mounted board, but maybe you can kind of get an idea there. So these are dual-sided with the different tanks. Wow, that is pretty wild. Though, I always consider this to be kind of a self-propelled gun, but self-propelled artillery. All right, so got the Panzer IV, and you'll notice we've got a few of these. Are they all going to have? No, they're going to have different. Okay, so we've got 4 of these, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these are actually identical tanks. But when we flip these over, looks like we're going to have different tanks on the other side. So, unless I spoke too soon. No. Okay, so we've got 2. And we got 2 of these. Wow, that is so cool. So we've got terrain move card holding box. This is for a range track. Victory points. I wonder if this is where you can track. I think this is where you track the victory points on here. And then talking about the gun. So it's giving us our gun and it's giving us our hit locations. But look at all of these cards in here. This is sweet. Oh, we got the tiger. Look at that. Nice. Okay, so how many do we have for the Germans? Were there like 8? Take a guess. There are 8. So grand total of 16 different options. I mean, granted, some of the tanks are the same, but you're going to have all these different options. And then for the Russians, it's like we've got the same. Looks like we've got 8. Yeah, sweet. That is very, very cool. So T-3476s. And once again, we got T-3476 KV-85s. We got the T-34-85s. So we got four of these. And then on the back. This is very cool. I can't wait to take this out for a spin. This looks really, really nice. And looks like it is jam-packed with goodness. I had heard through the grapevine that this is not very difficult to learn how to play. That you can kind of jump in pretty quickly. So let's see what we've got with these different decks of cards. And we'll use my hobby knife real quick. Open these up. Oh, come on, there we go. All right. So take a look at the battle cards because it almost seems like you'll take so many of almost like starter decks. Because when we looked in the rules, it was talking about how it said, okay, for this many tanks, use this many decks. So these are battle cards. These are terrain cards. Looks like these are all terrain. And it's kind of funny because it's like you're looking through the viewpoint, through the viewport, I should say, or even through the periscope. The scope, I guess we'll say, it's really not a periscope. It's a scope. So we'll look at those in a second. So we've got infantry advance cards. Snow and fog. Deep mud. So we've got a variety of different cards here. Like these might be. So this says imperil, aggressive. Those all say imperil, aggressive, and then we have fully operational on each side. Are there 8 of these? There are actually 9 of these. So I'm wondering if you kind of choose like how you're like, or maybe these are, maybe these are the Rubato cards. All right, so we've got damage reference cards. So 4 of those. I was going to say, I don't think we need 8. Tell you what, the card stock's really nice. Very, very nicely done. So dual-sided. So we've got ammo hits, catastrophic hits, explosion, no survivors. On fire cards. Oh, jeez. Okay. On fire. Holy cow. Pretty wild. Broken card. So means your crew is getting ready to abandon that tank, I'm guessing. And then we have on fire. So these, it looks like these are both taking away from your hand size of cards, which, if we recall correctly, I think it said 4 cards plus 1 for each tank you control. So we got the battle cards. So that whole deck is battle cards. And this whole deck is battle cards. Let's see if we got battle cards here. We got a scenario card, infantry cards, anti-tank gun cards, got damage cards. More battle cards. If you notice, there are no dice, so it appears that everything is going to be resolved by the battle cards. So I'm going to take a guess. We got different numbers. Yep, boom. There we go. I bet you that is kind of our action resolution number here. We've got move 4, move 5. So move up to 200 meters. So it's telling us, it's giving us a little information here. So if flanked, pull a battle card to remove one flank. 2 moves, instead move up to 400 meters. If flanked, auto remove flank. Cover 30 minus 40 to hit. So you're kind of moving pretty quickly here. So you notice we have all these different numbers. So we've got a terrain card, a gully, woods, bunch of woods. Flank 7, flank 8, 9, fire 7, fire 8. Got mud. Got all these different cards. We've got a shuffle card. Got a shuffle card and a game end card. Okay. So no doubt you're gonna, when you build these decks, you're probably gonna include this at some point and then probably use this game end after you shuffled the deck so many times. Taking a stab. We've got mines, hills, brush, factory, street corner. Wow, this is pretty wild. City rubble. Barney rubble. What? No, city rubble. Okay, so we got all of those. So wait a second. So this city square. Oh, see, these are battle cards too. So were the hills. No, these aren't. These are dual-sided. So maybe these are like starting locations on the road or on a hill. And then as you're playing your battle card, oh, well, these are scenario cards there. Huh. So are these all scenario cards? Yeah, they're all scenario cards. So these are just more terrain, city streets. And we got a bridge. We got some move cards. Yeah, even in a scenario card. Huh. Okay, well, we're just going to have to find out by digging into the rules. See what else we've got here. So we've got leadership, command, flank 1, and we have other numbers as well on here. Looks like these are the same. Yeah, they match up. And we got, it looks like some sort of a penalty modifier is what it looks like. So it appears that we've got the number both here as well as here. So nice. This is very cool. This is very, very interesting. So all in all, we have what appears to be 100 cards in our battle deck because, or I should say battle card deck, because I believe it went up to 100, right? Although it sure feels like there's more than 100. Yeah, there's more than 100 because these are all in numerical order. And then we start getting some 17s, 18s, 65s. Maybe these are more got a bunch of 70s. Maybe these are introduced at a certain point. So I'll have to take a look because maybe in the scenarios it's going to tell you, how many of these cards you're going to include. So we've got all the battle cards. We've got the on fire cards. We've got the infantry cards. which is basically we've got some anti-tank guns, got different infantry, close combat. So we've got those. We've got damage cards, which all have different results depending on where the hit was. So we've got critical hits, turret, hull, and track. So those are the different kinds of hits. I think that's a hit. Catastrophic kill, no survivors. Reshuffle the deck. Okay, so we've got those. We've got a scenario card to go with these. So we've got the scenario cards. Then we've got these terrain cards with roads and hills. Got reference cards, weather cards, infantry advance cards. There's a lot of different cards in here. We got the shuffle and game end cards. So, all in all, let's put all this stuff back together. So we have the 16 different tank boards. So you've got 32 different, well, I can't say they're all different, but there are 32 possible tanks in here, right? Then we've got the 2.5 punch boards with counters and some tokens. We've got the Rubato player aid. We've got 8 player aids. We've got the playbook. We got the rule book. And then we've got all the different cards, which I will actually end up putting in some baggies. I always have spare baggies from GMT Games because they usually come with a bunch of baggies. I didn't see any with this. So, damage cards, battle cards, reference cards, all that goodness. And that is what we find when we take everything from Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs, outside the box. So, let's swing on over back to the other camera. So there's a first look at Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs. I will have a review of Tank Duel in the very near future. So that's it for this time out. As I like to say, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Don't forget to catch me live Mondays through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time right here on YouTube as I bring you the latest tabletop gaming news and the Daily Dope. So if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell. It'll notify you not only when I upload new standalone videos like this one, it'll also tell you when the stream goes live. All right, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, happy trails. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.